The 14 newest monsters in Pokémon Sun and Moon. Pokémon Sun and Moon's Pokédex grew bigger with the debut of new, lengthy videos, which also premiered several features and human characters in the Nintendo 3DS games. The new Pokémon additions are, as always, the trailer's highlight, and we've rounded them up below, all 14 of them. Reinvented classics. Pokémon Sun and Moon is set in the Hawaiian-esque islands of Alola, a region that is home to Pokémon both foreign and familiar. Several of the original Pokémon from Red, Green, Blue and Yellow return in the new games, albeit with special Alola forms that change them completely. Alolan Exeggutor. If you already thought Exeggutor looks bizarre, meet the Alolan version. The 35-foot-tall grass dragon type has an absurdly long neck that it uses to whip other Pokémon into shape. Its additional head helps too, bringing it to a total of 4. In case you're wondering where the fourth one is, take a look at Exeggutor's backside. Head number 4 is on its tail, perfect for headbutting Pokémon that try to creep up behind it. Alolan Vulpix. The adorable fire type changes type in the Alola region. The tiny fox Pokémon is now an ice type after taking a liking to the island's snow-covered mountains. This Vulpix is so different from the one fans grew up with, in fact, that it actually can't stand the heat, instead living in the snow year-round, expelling icy cold temperatures from its breath and using the snow cloak ability to keep cool. Alolan Ninetales. Vulpix's majestic evolution also comes with a change in the Alola region. Ninetales is now an ice fairy type, attacking enemies with ice crystals that shoot off its fur. Otherwise, however, the beautiful fox remains a gentle soul. Alolan Sandshrew. We've learned that the tropical Alola region is not without its colder locales, and Sandshrew's regional variation is another example of the major effects the mountainous environments have on Pokémon. The former ground type became an ice, steel Pokémon to protect itself from Alola's harsh cold. Although its steely exterior and snow cloak ability helps keep it moving across the ice with speed, it can't curl up in a ball like Kanto's Sandshrew can. Alolan Sandslash. Sandslash also becomes an ice, steel type after exposure to the snow-covered peaks of Alola. Its already intimidating spikes are now ice-covered, making them even bigger and scarier. Enemies will appreciate Sandslash's diminished speed thanks to its heavier load, however, but Alolan photographers are especially fond of the monster, whose attacks are considered to be so beautiful as to warrant the potentially life-threatening trek to their mountain hideouts. New friends. Plenty of new Pokémon were also introduced today as the Pokédex grows ever larger. Among these are evolutions for previously seen monsters, as well as Pokémon that change form based on which of the 4 Alolan islands they inhabit. Oricorio, Sensu Style. Oricorio, the bird-like dancing Pokémon, transforms completely after drinking from specific flowers. These flowers vary by locations, as do its forms, although each one knows the dancer ability, which allows the Pokémon to use the same move as another dancing monster upon its next turn. They also have Revelation Dance move, a new attack that changes type based on the kind of Oricorio you're fighting with. We don't yet know the names of Alola's different islands, but perhaps Oricorio's various styles can give us hints. The Sensu style is both a ghost and flying type and is a particular favorite of Kanto expats who now reside in Alola. That's apparently thanks to its stoicism and gracefulness. Oricorio, the style. The psychic, flying type version of Oricorio is more a diva than the calm Sensu style. Blame its psychic abilities, which grow through dance. Oricorio, pom-pom style. This is objectively the best of Oricorio's 4 variations. It's an electric, flying type, which is a fairly rare pairing, and its feathers can dish out painful shocks to opponents. If you're on Oricorio's good side, though, it's a great friend, putting those pom-poms to great use by cheering up bummed-out trainers. We plan to take up permanent residence on the island that this cheerleader lives, personally. Oricorio, Bale style. A runner-up to the pom-pom style Oricorio is the Bale style, a fire, flying type that is an impassioned dancer. We can't wait to tango with this guy, although trainers should be careful of its more intense moves. The down fluff on this Oricorio's body can whip up a fiery move when it's really in the groove. Mudbray. This little guy is a ground type who moves to the beat of its own tempo ability. Don't let this tiny donkey's size fool you, Though, Mudbray is powerful, able to bear loads 50 times its weight. Mudbray evolves into Mudstale, a Pokémon we've met previously that players can ride around the Alola region on top of. It, too, loves the mud, so much so that being kept away from it for too long will turn Mudbray into a total brat. But we'd be bratty too, if we were on the verge of extinction. Overhunting led to Mudbray appearing few and far between in Alola. Minior. This rock, flying type is known as the Meteor Pokémon. Although only 1 foot tall, Minior absorbs debris from around the stratosphere to become a hefty 88 pounds. Its thick shell enables the Shields Down ability, which gives it great defensive skill. That outer core can break, however, to reveal a lighter, quicker Pokémon. That happens when Minior's HP drops to less than 50%. Gumshoes. Gumshoes evolves from young Goose, whom we met during E3 2016. Gumshoes is the stakeout Pokémon, which makes perfect sense. This tiny mongoose super sleuth is always on the lookout for enemies, demonstrating its wiser, more tactical nature over its more offensive pre-evolution. That's only true when the sun's up, though. Gumshoes is kind of an old geezer, falling asleep when night falls and its stamina runs out. Fomantis. Fomantis is the baby-sized sickle grass Pokémon. Unlike Gumshoes, it prefers the darkness, using the daytime to photosynthesize energy to use later on. Photosynthesis is also the reason behind the strength and unique coloring of its evolution, but in its current state, the Pokémon can use the energy it stores to finish off enemies with Solo or Beam. Lorantis. Fomantis later evolves into this pretty Pokémon. Lorantis is an elegant grass type who uses its natural beauty to flirt with, and massacre, its enemies. Lorantis is all about self-love and self-care, grooming itself on the regular. It prefers to work with trainers who are similarly into intense beauty regimens. As the totem Pokémon of Lush Jungle, the challenge trial of the Akala Island, Lorantis slices up Pokémon with the powerful Solar Blade move. Solar Blade takes 2 turns to use, absorbing solar power on the first and then sending out a wave of energy on the second.